Thank you, George. So the good news is this is the last part. The bad news is I'll simply summarize what we have heard. I'm deeply grateful to be a part of this good event. We've worked very closely with Maib, and this is an issue which is also part of our program, and I'm happy that we've been invited to participate in these discussions. I wanted to reflect on what has been said here by quoting a golfer, which is not good on a Monday, but one of the golfers, Waterhagen, once said, "No one remembers who came in second." Some banks love being second. To some banks, it's acceptable. To some banks, it's also something which they can live with. But in a world that everyone strives to be the first or to look at the first mover, sometimes coming second could also look like losing. And so we are here to celebrate that Maib is going to be first. And I wanted to summarize what has been said here by looking at the acronym FIRST. So the first letter stands for a forerunner. So from what we pick here, Maib is going to be a forerunner in the International Stock Exchange for the financial sector in Moldova. Obviously, an IPO is construed as a good moment for a company which is maturing. And what is happening here is a sign of maturity as well as preparedness to operate in a different arena. By going public, Maib would position itself to tap from a different set of investors. And the expectation is that there will be some spillovers to the Moldovan economy where we can see growth in entrepreneurship and job creation. Which leads us to the second thing, that this thing is only happening because there is innovation. By looking at the potential benefits that listing would give, you can see that there is an appreciable level of innovation which characterizes what Maib is trying to do. Most businesses fail in terms of how to grow as well as how to support national objectives. But the resources generated from this kind of initiatives can create a thriving eco-financial system like EBRD said, open up new frontiers within the EU accession, as well as develop value proposition for Maib. So a successful IPO would provide us a diversified portfolio of investments, at the same time open doors for creating more value-enhancing projects. By innovating, Maib is trying to put Moldova on the map. The next letter stands for responsibility. Being first also comes with responsibility. And some of you have seen how impressively the financial system has reacted to the start of war on our borders. This did not happen by chance or luck. The resilience that we now see is a product of the investment that has been made in the financial sector. Specifically, we at the IMF have been working with banks in the aftermath of the banking fraud to ensure a transparent shareholding, create a robust resolution framework, at the same time also allow the strengthening of governance and supervisory frameworks. Now, this kind of investment has paid off. That is why, if I'm hearing correctly, learning from that experience, the governor is saying it is imperative that as Maib goes public, we need to safeguard the resilience of the sector so that the post-initial offering should also be as stable as we are seeing it, which brings me to the S, which is stability. The preparatory actions that we're talking about must not only focus on Maib. It's good that we're having this conversation because Maib is only the first, but there will be others who are going to follow. So whatever we agree now, we need to make sure that there is scope for others to follow in a seamlessly easy fashion. So we see scope for coordination with the regulators. We see scope for coordination with the partners. We see scope for coordination with the international financial institutions. And this also allows the central bank to make sure that the transition of corporate governance as well as professional management structures also goes smoothly. For us in our discussions, we have emphasized that whatever happens with the first initiative, we must make sure that the supervisory framework is not undermined. We also have emphasized the need to ensure that there is access to information. And most importantly, there's good coordination with the supervisors in the different jurisdictions, which comes to the last letter in the word first, which is T. Clearly, Maib is going to be a trendsetter. Now, if done correctly, this IPO will be entrenched in our memories as a trendsetter. We know that there will be some spillovers. I think one of the things which has been articulated here is that for a small place like Moldova, a lot of people always ask, what is Moldova? Some of these initiatives are what will help us to put Moldova on the map. And by penetrating markets, this kind of information, which is normally demanded for a company which is listed, the level of disclosure will also allow for us to complement the gap of information which people have about Moldova. So we stand to benefit from this process of MAIB being a trendsetter. So I wanted to close with the hope that someday we'll remember that MAIB was first. And at that time, I look forward to remembering MAIB as a forerunner of innovation, which was responsible for fostering resilience and stability in the financial sector, setting the trends for other financial sectors to follow, other players to follow. I thank you for your attention, and I wish MAIB all the best. Thank you.